Gotta stop saying that.
Sis or
Yeah, before I get judged around here.
what?
I'm gonna judge you anyway.
Somebody was like, all these Drake memes and stuff been going around. You definitely one of the sassy on the sassy committee. I was like, bitch.
Yo. Wow.
So I do not transcribe to their lifestyle.
Sassy's that's the new word. It's the new N word. Not N. not N. Just
yeah, gotcha.
I mean, it's okay to be sassy, I guess. If you just be like, Chris, do something for me and like a rhyme.
I had to beat him up, right?
Yeah, you did. Because I could have been like, Jake. Nah. It worked better with Chris.
See, it worked better.
It do.
All right, gentlemen, y'all ready to get started?
Yes, ma'am.
Ready.
Okay. Love the energy.
The goats.
Yes, we are here. What's going on, everybody?
I'm the goat.
Welcome.
It's us.
Okay, yeah.
Okay.
He talking about a whole unit, and here go Chris. Me?
I mean, fame. I'm trying not to let the fame change me. So
oh my God,
we stand humble,
Right. Let's practice that humble attitude. Yes.
Yeah, I had to tell the limo driver like, nah, not today. I drive myself.
Okay. Jason, I still see he's in delusional land.
Hey man, let my brother live there, man. Let him do that, man.
Oh, all right. As soon as he go off the cliff, I'm gonna be like, Jason, you let him get this far.
Hey, the goof that sat by the door. There you go.
That could be his new name.
Wow.
All right, well, that's a good reference to what we will be reviewing today. All right, can I go ahead and get the intro, gentlemen? Y'all
you got it.
Okay, perfect. What's going on, everybody? Welcome to the Was It Good Though podcast, where we discuss, debate, review, and movies and TV shows, old and new. I am one of your hosts. My name is Jazz. I am joined with Jason. Jason, how you feeling this evening?
I'm doing well, Jazz. How you doing?
I'm good. Our other co-host, Chris, how are you feeling this evening?
Less than highly favorite, Jazz. I'm doing pretty good. Can't complain.
That's good. I'm glad y'all are feeling well this evening. Gentlemen, this is episode 27, our part 2 of Atlanta season 4. For anybody that's new, normally when we do shows, we break them up by episodes. And so since this is our part 2, today we will be reviewing episodes 6 through 10 of Atlanta season 4, the final season. The show is over. It's unfortunate because a very unique show that we all enjoyed. So
pour one out for the homies.
Right. Sad to see it go. But if you have not seen Atlanta season 4, this is your spoiler alert. With us reviewing and discussing, that means we will be providing spoilers. So before you turn the pod off, please be sure to like, subscribe, rate, review. Come back once you get caught up on the final season and see some of the discussions and jokes that we had during this episode. And I will say, if you don't know where you can stream Atlanta, yes, that's right, you can stream it on Hulu and the FX app. Yes. So just go ahead and get caught up. This is a very great creative show. I'm not sure okay. Jason.
TV shows, just go straight to Jason.
Oh, okay.
I ain't
Chris is like, nah, I'm movies over here. TV shows all Jason.
Nah.
Okay. Well, Jason, gonna go ahead and roll it to you, sir. Go ahead and take us to Atlanta, our last trip for now.
I'm upset about this, Jazz. I don't know how to feel about it. I'm kind of, I'm happy we got it, but unfortunately, I'm sad we got it. You know what I'm saying? At least when they left us in limbo, we were just like, it's going to come back at some point, but now we have to say our goodbyes. And we are in episode 6. Crank that killer.
Wow. I'm not gonna lie, that was perfect.
It was. So before I even begin, did any of you guys, this was during the MySpace days, any Crank That videos out there I need to know about that I can research?
Well, see, I was gonna answer that question, but that last part made me say, nah. So,
Jason, you gotta like I was about to get somebody on the case. Like, yeah.
Wow. Here go Jason and Chris. Let me go ahead and get Tiff in marketing. And research.
And Shell, I'm looking for Shell as well.
Oh, Shell will definitely find it. So I do not have any Crank That videos out there on YouTube. I don't think. But yeah, do y'all?
That was a fun era. I wish I did, Jazz. I used to try to hit it. So before I really get into it, what was y'all favorite Crank That dance? If y'all was into that, I was. Did y'all have a favorite?
I feel like I tried to learn. Wasn't there a Crank That Batman?
Best one.
I feel like I tried to learn it, but it's
not even like I know, Chris, but that was the best one.
Right, Chris. I wasn't gonna say nothing. I was just gonna let it rock. But I feel like it had maybe too many additional steps, and when these dropped, we had to lean with it, rock with it, snap your fingers. So I said, "Oh, let me go to that realm. Y'all can have this complicated shit over here." Like, yeah. So
that's
hilarious. What about you, Chris?
No, I think I just stuck with the basics. I think at one point I was like, they're doing too much now. Because I remember seeing like, when did the SpongeBob? And like, it was just I was just like, come on now.
Like that SpongeBob, Spider-Man.
Yeah, so.
So you open up episode 6, Al on TV, trying to figure out what he's going to watch. And this actually reminded me of Jazz.
I knew you was going to say that.
Darius was telling him he needs to get rid of it and just stream. And he was like, I can't stream the news. And of course, Chris, every morning, Jazz, she talks about different. I mean, she tells us she keeps us up to date. So I'm appreciative when she does, when she wants to kind of get upset with us. So we joke on her and she stops doing it. I'm like, hold on now, you got to stop doing it. We need to know what's going on in the world.
Nah, because y'all be hitting me with that. Why you sharing us this news at 7:30 in the morning? And I'm like, I want y'all to wake up informed. I'm thinking about y'all.
I know. We know you still get your newspaper, so I'll be more.
First off, that's not a narrative we about to start. I do not get newspapers at all whatsoever. So I'm gonna go ahead and get that today right now. So you need.
She didn't let you finish the sentence.
No, I'm like, nah.
And Aaron is like, well, he's like, what do you need the news for? We have so many different news outlets, and at this day and age, people are really using social media as their form of news. He mentions TMZ for deaths. He mentions like Shade Room for stuff that's going on in the Black community as well as Lipstick Alley. I
never heard of that before this.
It's
Lipstick
real.
Alley.
It's real.
Okay.
It's a real space.
You be in that space?
I don't be in that space, but I talk to people who's in these different places, so I've heard of it.
So it is like Shade Room, like the gossip.
It's basically like gossip site to talk about celebrities more so than anything. And I say, of course, you go to Twitter for cancellations, which you can beat the allegations if you're well liked, and you also do something very well, depending on what you're into. But they also talk about the title name, the Crank That Killer, which is basically someone's going around killing people who had a Crank That video. This episode was, I guess we look at like a 2-part, because it's about what you value, how much value do you put into things. So you have Al, how much value does he put into his stardom more so, and then you have the storyline with Darius and Ern. You talk about how much they value tennis shoes.
Man,
not just them, but how much Black men value.
How much Black? You're definitely correct, Jazz, because it wasn't just them that was going for these tennis shoes, and we're talking about y'all back again. Y'all like
I was just
all right, so they want these Nike Miracle shoes. I was like, you should possibly use my name to try to get them. And he was like, I already did that, and they told me, screw myself, that wasn't happening. But as they're in the studio, some guy named Doug, that's his name, pulls up in the actual studio. He wants to record with Al. As he comes into the studio, before he gets there, Al destroys everything. What did y'all think about this scene here?
He must really hate a guy named Doug, because can you imagine how much that studio equipment costs? And he was just like, yeah, let me go ahead and destroy all of this. And then I thought their exchange was funny, because he was just like, well, let's record. He said, we can't. The studio, the equipment's destroyed. He was just like, well, let me hear what you got. I can't because the speakers are busted. And he was like, well, just email it to me. The Wi-Fi is delayed. And like, he was just on it every time. And I'm just sitting there laughing like, this exchange is hilarious because you had an excuse for everything he said. He was like, oh, all of a sudden? He was just like, yeah. But I thought that was hilarious.
I was like, yo, Doug, take a hint. Like, he doesn't want to work. Like, usually if you like trying to, get away from something, like people get it after the first time. But Doug was like, nah, we're gonna figure this out some way. So I was just
like, this, I do feel like this was a missed opportunity. We could have got like Clark County back, even Justin Bieber from the first season, just as a callback. It would have been dope to see because last time we seen Clark County was actually in season 2. Mm-hmm. They were getting ready to get on the airplane to France, to Europe rather. Let me say Europe, and Aaron put the gun into his manager's bag, the golden gun into his bag, and got the manager kicked off. But Clark County, he still went. So it would have been dope to see that, but that's just, Al's in the car. He's looking at his phone. He pulls the video back up, which, you know how you do. You see a video you had, you see it. Nobody's seen it. Now you got to comment, basically a dead, the dead emoji on the actual phone. And then we have a little side story here with Roberto. You got Roberto heading to work. Jazz, what you got to say about Roberto? I seen that face is just like, nah, this ain't it.
No, like Roberto's girl was dropping him off with their daughter in the back. They're living at his mom's house, and she's just like, you need to have a backup plan because what if your rap career doesn't work? And he was just like, he said, do you know how, which rapper did he say? Do you know how he got his start?
Big Sean.
And I'm just sitting here like, so you're using somebody else's example, thinking that's gonna happen to you. You got a whole family. It's like, and I feel, Jason, it reminded me of the episode that we had to where we were discussing having a plan B for from the first part 1 of this. So it was just like Roberto he needed to get himself on track. And we saw what he was doing at the mall. You giving out samples, like.
And the guy was like, nigga, I know what that tastes like. Get out my face. Which is true. Like you going to the mall, like, what are you doing? But I like how this episode was filmed. Like it intertwines everything pretty well. So as we go to this, we go to Darius and Aaron as they get inside the shoe man's van. They got these Nike Miracles, and he said, yeah, I have a couple of pairs. They real hot. They real hot, but I'll give them to you. He's like, okay, cool. How much you want for them? For y'all just got a kiss. Like, and they look at each other, and Darius is like, shit, let's go. Like Darius was game from beginning. He was like, that's it. I'm with it. Aaron was like, hold up, Playboy. And he was like, it's not gay because he said, I don't care about that part of it. He said, it's just the whole thing. I feel like we put too much value into these shoes.
What would y'all have done?
I'll speak for myself. Them shoes wouldn't have got. Like, they would have just started.
I don't know. I'm not gonna lie to you. I don't know. I truly don't know. Because I would sell them shoes. Like I don't know if I'm just being real. But
the thing, they weren't trying to sell them, so it's like
that was gonna keep them. Jason would have sold them.
Yeah. So that's the difference. I feel like your intention sort of, because the $10,000 kiss, like.
So Chris, if you was gonna sell the shoes, what would you have done?
There's other ways to make money, Jeff.
So even still, if you would have sold them, you still wouldn't have done it. Jason said $10,000. Yeah,
I'm thinking on that. Yeah, let me get these off. Like shit, my homeboy ain't been not ever saying nothing. He gonna get. I gotta get him out of here.
Wow.
Wait, are you just permanently? And then take his pair of shoes? So Jason's like, that was a $20,000.
$20,000 come up.
Wow.
And then so Paperboy, he's at home. His mind is just like blown. Like, man, I got to figure this out. He's going through Twitter. He sees another person in Decatur has been killed. So he called my guy. He called Soldier Boy SBZ. What you think about this scene, Chris?
I was surprised that he was it's sort of what? Why are you looking? Oh, because Jazz.
Jazz face, she was like, nigga, what?
I was like,
she
who
got
calls him that?
SBZ?
You know what's funny? I didn't even hear him say SBC.
Chris, he just made that up.
Yeah, I was just like,
oh man, okay, Draco. He called young Draco.
yeah, I've never heard SBC. No, I thought it was cool. It was unexpected, but then looking back, it's like, of course, Soulja Boy should be in this because they've had plenty of celebrities here. Is Soulja Boy from? Where's he from?
He's originally from Atlanta.
Okay, so it was cool. I thought it was dope. We had Gunna this season. We had, I feel like we had somebody else. So it's dope that they've really, especially for the last season, we've had like these celebrities come out and everything. I think Cat Williams was another one that we had in the light skinned episode. Yeah, so it was cool. He told him, you know, his language when he's speaking comes into play later on in the season, which I didn't notice, but Jason brought that up. So that's gonna be a dope callback.
Yeah, look at Jazz. What are you talking about? I don't know.
Yeah, but I was just like, don't say nothing. Let me see if I catch it later on. So.
Yeah.
I got you. I'm gonna keep. I'm a mystery. So I'm gonna hold it till we get back to it, even though it is mentioned here. So Al, he goes to the mall. I feel like this. Whenever I want to blow off steam, that used to be one of my favorite things. Go to the mall, get some Chinese food, get a pretzel. And I'm out of there. I don't know, Chris. That's just what I do.
No, when you first said, I thought you said that's what you blow off steam now. I was like, sure. Like, why are you going to the mall to blow off steam?
Chris, same.
There's
I'm
so
like,
many
I hate the mall.
Yeah.
Hey, but look, see, I like, it's the walking, the different people, just talking to people, just on some upbeat, alive type stuff. I guess that's more so. I'm just at home by myself, so
it's Arkansas. I get it.
Oh, that sounds lonely.
That's true. That's true as well. But as he's in here, he got a hat on, no logo, glasses, dark, talking to the lady at the presser. She was like, "Oh shoot, Paperboy, can I get an autograph?" He was like, "How did you even know it was me?" Like, first off, bro, it ain't like you're not famous. That's the first thing. But it was a dope callback because they said, he said, whenever celebrities come in, that's what they do. They always look the same. Look over there, go Chris Evans over there to the side. Which, did y'all see that video when it was out? Like when it actually was viral?
No, which one?
Well, Chris Evans in the mall talking to the black girls.
I saw when he was in a parking deck.
That was the parking garage, yeah.
Okay, so it may have been the same exact thing. So unless it was multiple, I don't know.
He do seem like he like black women.
I don't know.
No white gays. Because I know Jason yelled at me like last month talking about this male white gays, and I'm like, none of that. And it was Chris Evans too, so
it was just very convenient.
Chris.
just saying.
So while Al is in the actual mall, Roberto, of course, see Paperboy, this celebrity people get the texting. Roberto gets the word that he's at the pretzel place, so he's looking for him. He's running through the mall to look for Al. Al's outside at this point. He's eating his food. He's looking at all the kids dancing on videos and stuff. Like, he's just like, why they ain't in trouble like I am? Like, you could just see in his face. He's like, why is it them and not me? And then you start hearing like a GPS. It's like it almost points directly to Al.
I thought this was so crazy because why is your GPS that loud? Like everybody could see where you were going or hear where you were going. I was just like, whose GPS is that loud? Because I thought that was just hilarious. And then it was like, left here. And then they get gone. And then it said, you reach your destination. I don't know why the GPS was so loud, but I love that it was because it was hilarious.
And what do you think about this next scene, Jazz? As Paperboy goes back into the mall.
So at first I was like, there's no way he's in Atlanta. He's definitely in Texas or one of those states where you can carry a gun openly and people just start. Because there's a like open
carry.
It's not open in Atlanta like that.
In Georgia?
It's open here. It's open here.
I don't know Georgia's gun laws, but I guess because certain states you don't even have to have a concealed. You don't have to have anything to walk around with your gun on you. So
Arkansas.
That's y'all.
Yeah, it is.
Dang,
like the Wild Wild West.
Right, that's what it was in the mall, because Paperboy is running for his life, and then a woman just comes out of nowhere and she's shooting at dude. And Paperboy just looked like he was in a video game. He was just like, "What the hell is going on?" Because I feel like normally, anytime there's a mass shooting or anything like that, people are just like, if this person would have had a gun, they would have shot the shooter, which is terrible logic to me, because I'm like, when the police arrive, who do the police know is the shooter? Like, you don't know. So you're a civilian trying to help a situation, but you could get shot. But it was a lot of civilians shooting at the guy that was trying to shoot Paperboy, which nobody aim was good. Let's talk about that for a second.
Yeah, honestly.
Everybody's aim was completely terrible. And I'm just sitting here like, don't nobody go to the range?
Oh, man, nah.
Because just like shooting up in a mall, this was a risky scene. It was
that's what I was thinking. It's very like, you know, you think about everything that happens in real life. And we always talk about how like Atlanta imitates, you know, life, and they sort of add their own twist to it. So, you know, it was just.
But it was a nice way to make it funny. The shooter, the actual shooter, he picks up a kid to use him as a shield as he's trying to get away. In
Jason looked like he was waiting for approval to laugh.
I wasn't gonna laugh.
Chris, like somebody
he was like, somebody help me.
I was like, where is he going with this? Because it don't sound like it's going to a good place.
Yeah, nah, he gotta take that one on his own.
Yeah.
Then Paperboy, he runs out the mall. He runs out. Yes, he's running. Then a car just pulls up, same exact way. I feel. Did we hear a GPS? I feel like I heard GPS, but I could be tripping.
I don't remember hearing one, but that would be funny.
He pulls up and it turns out to be some guy named Doug. Paperboy jumps in the car. He's like, "Go, nigga, go, go!" He just pulls off, but the guy's still shooting. And as he's doing this, Ern and Al in the parking lot of the mall have decided to go ahead and do the kiss, and they decide that they're haggling to see how long this kiss is going to be. And as they're kissing, the shoe guy gets killed. And it's just like, we did all that for nothing, you know?
At least they had good music playing, because I'm pretty sure Casey and JoJo's All My Life was playing.
Come on, man.
That's a beautiful song.
Jazz, what would be your song if you had to pick a song for somebody to be kissing?
You put me on the spot. I don't know. Nothing is coming to mind. Maybe some Boys to Men. Something sad, because you know that's my vibe.
And
sad music, like
imagine Jazz kissing to the end of the road.
Like, this is gonna be the last time I ever see you.
But while we here though.
While we're here.
Hey, I remember one time I was breaking up with this girl, right? And so we breaking up, right? The radio on, so you know me, I turned up a little bit, like she crying. So I'm like, man, I gotta get this out so we can just be done. She can go back in the house. Whoop whoop. And guess what comes on the radio? Y'all not gonna guess. You want to guess, Jazz? It looked like you thought you were going to guess.
No, I don't.
It was a breakup song.
Oh, was it Chris Brown's Goodbye?
Nah, it wasn't that. You want to take a guess, Chris?
I don't know.
I'm gonna sing it a little bit. I just left my girl a message, said I wouldn't be coming home. I'd rather be alone. She doesn't fully understand me.
That's on fire.
I'd rather leave.
It was fate. You know it wasn't meant to be. So.
Did you tell her you were leaving to go to somebody else?
I mean, I didn't tell her that.
Okay, good.
But that's what you did.
We didn't break up neither. She cried too much for me to continue. I had to stop.
Oh, you fell for that?
So her tears worked?
Yeah. I couldn't do it. It was too many. It was too many. I could.
All them crocodile tears.
But this is one of my stories. But so they get the shoes. He's in the car listening to some guy named Doug play this terrible beat as he's playing it, and I'm just like, man, this is horrible. And they reconvene at the end. Paperboy, Al, Al is Paperboy, Darius and Aaron, and they're talking. It was like, so how was your day? It was like, it was all right. Well, how was y'all? He said, man, it was cool. They're just having conversation. You know how dudes do. Like, he said, oh, this some nice shoes, man. I never thought you was gonna ask. He said, but he said I had to do something for him, but it was worth it. And Aaron just looked, Aaron's just like, bro, no, don't even.
We'd never talk about this ever again.
Don't even talk about it. And then, Paperboy plays the song with him and some guy named Doug, and it was like, this is trash. It's very horrible. It sounds like a whole bunch of just music and then y'all talking over it. And I was going to ask, do y'all think some guy named Doug set Paperboy up? Because we find out there was a killer and it was not the guy in the mall.
Right. Oh, I was going to say, I do not know. Because at first I thought, what's his name, Roberto?
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was going to be the killer.
I did too.
So the way the way they said it, I thought he was going to be the killer. And Doug, that just seems like a lot for a feature. Like, we heard like like come on, we ain't heard Paperboy rap, in a minute, but like, come on. Like,
so Chris, are you saying that Paperboy's feature wasn't worth going through all that trouble?
And we're shooting up the mall and getting the mall shot?
No, I'm not gonna lie. I don't think it was, because that just seems too risky for him.
It was
find somebody, because it was somebody that Paperboy went to high school with.
Yeah, he had beef with him from high school.
So that means a dude or a guy named Doug would have to know that Paperboy had beef with this person and gave him Paperboy's location, which he could have because he had Paperboy's number.
This podcast was begun on screen. We understand that people have motives and they can think and put stuff into place. And I just look at it like we have Roberto, his what he would go through. I'm just saying.
I'm trying to see where you're going with this.
We have some guy named Doug, and we have Roberto, and we see the two links I feel like they will go to for this. In the middle of a shooting, Roberto still tried to rap for Paperboy. And he was like, man, if you don't get out of my face, he just throws this guy through some glass.
Life is like a movie, Uzi Jacuzzi.
He throws this guy through glass, and you got some guy named Doug. Unless it's just ironically, he just happens to be in the place that he needs to be at that time. Because I feel like Jared said, everybody's terrible shooters. And if that's the fact, he just was scaring them to get them to go a certain way. But I don't know.
That seems like that. We talk about a reach. That's like a.
Only reason I say that because the guy, it wasn't the guy. He that was the only way he would have gone with Doug, because he wasn't gonna go with Doug any other way. And like I said, it could just be irony. It could just be irony.
Yeah, that's interesting. Because like how Atlanta has been this season, it's been a lot of open-ended things to where it's just unanswered questions. So Jason, it could be that a guy named Doug set him up. Him just being there it just seemed too
coincidental.
Yeah, like, how did you know you had to be following me?
Yeah.
So I'm not mad at that theory if he kind of set the whole thing up.
In the studio, he just, got a little chip on his shoulder because they keep blowing him off. Like, I know what you're doing, but this is his get back in that situation. That's how I viewed it. But did you guys have anything to add in this one? No. So, episode 7, the snipe hunt. This episode begins with Sade, Love is King. Sade, do y'all remember y'all first encounter with Sade by chance?
My first encounter, first song I heard it first?
Mm-hmm. Just remembering when you could listening to Sade.
My memory ain't that good. It's been a long time.
Gotcha.
Did he just admit something that we've been telling him for so long?
I said that good.
Oh my God. Jason, this is amazing.
It is.
That clip is going to be great. But, Jason, I don't think it was growing up. It was you can't listen to Sade. Like if she came on the radio or anything like that, then my parents was like, cool. But probably at a younger, hell, I didn't know what she was saying. I was just like, it seems, I know she was talking about love. because
Understand.
It was just a vibe.
It was right.
I think I don't know, like a lot of my encounters, like I mean, I think y'all know that now. Though it's always I can place things based on movies and I can place it based on songs. So ironically, because the next one we're going into a Disney, we were on a road trip heading to Disney World. My dad got lost on this road trip. That's actually funny now. Just saying it back out, we headed to Disney World and it was a whole lot of Sade, a whole lot of Maxwell, whole lot of Mary J. So my parents introduced me to a lot of this stuff. But I mean, that's pretty much what I was going into. And in this episode, we have Van and Ern, super awkward, the way they're dealing with each other. In this actual car trip, we figure out it's a birthday trip for Lottie. Aaron has rented out this big camp reservation for them to just go camping and do some, just do something for their daughter, for her birthday. I think she was turning 6.
Yeah.
She was 6. So Aaron, he's bought this tent, and like this season, Aaron has just been like balling out with money. He's giving away cars. He set up this lady to get scammed. Now he's rented out the entire camp reservation, and he has this tent that fits 12 people, but it's only 3 people in there. Which, have y'all ever been camping?
No, I want to.
No. But that tent reminded me of the tent that I have that I take to the beach that sleeps or that sits 3 people. So I'm sitting here like, Aaron, you got played. Like, it looks just like the tent that I have. But yeah, I'm good on that camping stuff. Not in no tent. No. I'm good.
So you want to? I think Jazz wants to do like the cabin.
Yeah.
Go out and then come back.
Or like the double wide little bus trailer, or that
the RV,
like the campers. Yeah, like an RV. Like I would do that. But if you think I'm about to help you put up a tent, and no, absolutely not. Chris, let me know how that is.
That sounds like a horror movie ready to happen.
Jason, exactly. That's why I'm like, nah.
Nah, I'm good on that. And of course, one of the plot lines of this season was, we know Ern has just accepted a job in LA, and he was stressing about asking Van. So in between therapy and here, he has asked her, and she's still thinking on the trip. If you were in an awkward situation with somebody, but y'all shared a child, just one child, would y'all consider making this move with this person across the world, basically?
Yeah.
I don't know. It's kind of tough because we didn't really know where they were as far as their relationship. Like, it was clarified, but at the moment, I don't know. And that's a lot for her to weigh. But I thought about the first episode, the Stuck in Atlanta episode as well. And I like how that played into too as well. And I would assume that they played on Van's, decision making and everything, because they were stuck in Atlanta. Like, you running into the same people, you pretty much doing the same thing. So that was really a chance for her to really shift her, her lifestyle or something new. Of course, we saw what happened season 3 with her. So just everything like that going somewhere else, I thought it'd be good for her.
And like I said, we just pretty much they're celebrating Lottie. They're doing everything together, and you can kind of see the dynamic. And I'm the only one on here that has a kid, I understand. We're dealing with the kid. Sometimes it can be an awkward interaction between the father and the kid, in certain instances. But I also feel like Ern, outside of like season 1, you don't really see Ern with Lottie. He's always trying to figure out stuff to put himself and his family in a better financial situation. So it's always Van with her. So, Lottie's acting kind of cold towards him the entire time as they're handling the camping trip. And then Ern, he's Van super. She seems to be well versed in everything that she does pretty much. And they're doing a little nature walk, and they're trying to walk over a certain path. And they said the water is too high. Like, we can't do that. Everybody's just gonna get wet. She was like, she can just get on my shoulders. You can go Would y'all have trusted Ern with
No,
with Lottie on your?
absolutely not. Did y'all see that river?
I
Like, it
did.
wasn't even calm. But I also noticed, like, you look at a lot of things that Van did in their interaction in this episode, she definitely realized she was more like, well, like you said, well versed in this area. And then we come to find out that she was a Girl Scout. She wasn't a Girl Scout too long, but as they were driving to this park, she was just like, Ern, you need to slow down. He was like, "No, we good." And then once they got to the guy that let them know everything, he was like, "Yeah, you might want to come down here about 5 miles per hour." And then when he said a 12-person tent, she was like, "We're gonna be freezing because we don't have enough like body heat." So it was just, you saw that, and I like their relationship. He didn't feel threatened by her dominance or her saying, "Excuse me," her being right. He was just like, oh, okay, that actually makes sense. Instead of like, oh, you would know it all, trying to, any kind of like negative reaction some individuals would get when you try to correct them. So I thought their energy and within this episode, I thought it was really good. It was a few things I symbolized in this episode, but I'm gonna wait till we get to the end to see our energy from it.
Got you. And like I said, he was talking about, well, they were talking about Lottie, and like you said, she mentioned that she was a Girl Scout, and he was just saying what type of kid Lottie was. And the episode pretty much, it plays out that way. She's smart, she's creative, she's intelligent, and all these different things. So it was like, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. First thing she does is she goes and she catches a toad. So at this point, we know whatever she wants to do, she's probably going to be able to do it, which is dope to see, because it's just that representation, a little black girl. If you want to do it, you can do it. And she pretty much everything they said she can do, she was doing in the episode, which I really enjoyed. And she was talking about doing a snipe hunt. I definitely hit all the Girl Scouts I know. It's like, what's a snipe hunt? I paused the episode. I was like, what's it? That was like, bro, I watch Atlanta too. That's not a thing. It's just it's just something on TV. Don't hit me ever again about Girl Scout stuff. And I wasn't that good at it. No.
But I was thinking very quick too. Is this the first time we've seen all three of them like together?
The first. I mean, in the first season,
but it was for like an extended amount of time. I know this was like a standalone episode, but I feel like you said, it's always been Ern trying to figure things out to get the money, and then you have Lottie advance. So I'm trying to think, but maybe it is season 1.
Yeah, it was season 1 when they were in the house. And she was getting ready for her date, and he was like, "Yeah, mama finna go see this ugly man. Look at your mama, she finna go see this ugly man."
That seemed like something you would do, Jason.
That's a fact. That's a fact. And then it was one thing I was listening to. They was walking down the path, and you could see, like, you could see Van looking at how Ern is dealing with Lottie, and it was just like, I can see myself. So, it was like that. I can see myself, or I can see us as a family, because he was talking about being opposite and eating the ice cream. And what I was more so paying attention to was how Van was looking at them, but also how Lottie picked up on what he was saying, and just how she was like, that's not how it happens for real. This is what the situation is, and this is how this works, and that's how they work. And I was just like, oh yeah, she not for the game. She's picking up on everything. Which I should have knew that from the chocolate
Smart
episode.
Girl.
But yeah, she so they try to have this LA talk. I've been here too. You try to get the kid to do something just random, as you and the mama trying to have a conversation. Having a conversation you need to have. So, they give her a pillowcase, a marshmallow, a stick, and tell her to catch a snipe. Just sit right here with the lantern, and then when the snipe comes, hit it over the head and close the bag. As they begin to have this conversation. She doesn't, Van, she doesn't want to. Ern makes it seem as if he just doesn't want to be alone when he goes to LA, and that's the way she was feeling. I mean, the main thing in there is, we know he needs to just acknowledge her feelings, which, later in the episode he does. But of course, Lottie catches this snipe. Like, this girl good. Like, it's like 2 minutes and she's already caught it. What did y'all think the snipe was?
So I didn't know at all, because Atlanta is very out there, and I was expecting something like super creepy, weird, like, Atlanta only type of little animal or whatever. So I had no idea what it was. I was anxious to see, but I had no idea.
What was it? Like
it was
They didn't really.
whatever she made up. I froze frame. It was just like a. It looked like a
it looked like a rat.
It looked like a rat, but it was long. With
Right.
like blonde hair and it had red eyes.
You saw all of that?
Yeah, froze.
Yeah,
I'm freeze framing on everything. I'm trying to see
So
what they.
blonde hair. So it was a Targaryen or a Lannister. Lannister.
It's a possibility. It's a possibility, but um, this scene, the next scene, we have Ern, Van, Lottie in the tent. Ern is teeth are rattling. He's freezing in this tent, as Van said, and she was like, "Is that your teeth rattling? Come over here, because this is pitiful. This is pitiful. Come over here so we can warm each other up." And as they land there, they're talking. He begins to want to have this talk again so they can actually finish it. He does a little thing parents do, try to check it. Look, if your kid hard at sleeping, this ain't something you want to do. Like, I mean, not they get to sleep. I would just be like, man, we gotta leave this as it is. But she is a little bit older, so you ain't got to worry about it too much.
Yeah, I would have woke up. I'd have been like, I don't want no s'mores. Like, shut up. Like,
and the other thing I like when when they gave her a s'more, and they put the candle in it, she was like, happy birthday. No. She was like, nah, I'm not fooling with y'all.
I ain't finna go all that.
But we finally have, what I've been looking for at least 6 years. We have this conversation between Van and Ern. What did y'all think about this?
Go ahead, Chris.
I liked it. I thought it was well done. I don't know if I was waiting 6 years for it.
Yeah, that seems kind of wild.
I wanted them to be together.
But in hindsight, I feel like that's always the end game. If you look back, like Van and Ern, they had to be together. That was like the end game. So, because they've had moments where Ern is on his whole thing where he's become successful. But Van has had bad moments where she's trying to find herself. You know what I mean? And just it ends up back with Ern, and then them having a kid helps that situation as well. But I mean, I was happy. I don't see them being with anyone else, honestly. So.
Yeah, this scene.
Mm-hmm.
So Donald Glover did an amazing job this season in a lot of these episodes.
His acting.
This scene, yes, his performance was amazing, and he dropped a lot of bars, and I was just like,
I'm stealing them.
Look, me too, Jason. I ain't even gonna use them.
I'm gonna use these.
But like him saying, him looking at her, he's like, Van, look at me. He's like, I'm fighting for you. That was one.
Bar.
Right. And then he was just like, I desire you. I said, Jason, right. And I'm like, Van, sis.
Jesse fold.
Right.
What kind of folding are we talking, Jay? Like this, like Jonathan Major, it's like Jonathan Major's folding, or
yeah. Man, look, weak in the knees. Look, they be like, stand up. I'm like, why? Why are you yelling? Why do I need to stand up? Like, did you not like? But his performance, he just did an amazing job, and he was just him expressing himself, him looking at her like, you are not just Lottie's mom to me.
Mm-hmm.
And so he was just hitting her with all of this, and she just sitting there. But I feel like that moment wasn't for her. It was for him. That was for Ern the entire time. Him being vulnerable, him communicating, him expressing his feelings and feeling safe to do so. Shout out to therapy. And
it's true.
That's a nice callback. I didn't care. I wouldn't even. My mind wasn't even there. My mind wasn't there.
Yeah, and that just came off the dome just now, Jason. That's organic for you right there. Don't say nothing about my head being big. I know Chris want to say something. So I'm just like, let me get to it before they do. I already know y'all jokes, but no, like this scene and her just sitting there, and she was like, okay. I'm like, he had to break it down everything, like, because she seemed like she just said yes so quick. But as I said before, I would have folded too. Let's just leave all of our stuff and just go right now. So,
like book the flight. Let's just do it.
Why are we still in this tent? Let's leave right now.
So Chris may have been onto something when we reviewed the last season. He was like, she got ghosted. I still don't think it was ghosted, but he was like, I've dreamt of you every night since Amsterdam.
Wait. We're not going back to the ghosting thing.
I said it's not. I said it's not ghosting. I'm just saying, he's been thinking about it. She put it, put him on, make him want to marry me. From that to now. You know what I'm saying? And that, like, they have some nice little callbacks to season 3 here and there, just to acknowledge at least that it was, I guess, real.
Not as much though. I wish it was more.
Exactly. So
we'll talk about that later.
So here, they, pretty much that was the end. We see them in the car playing "Your Love Is King" again. Song really represents, well, if you listen to the song, it kind of represents what their relationship was. And then this time we have the point of view of Lottie finally seeing her parents get along, but it's in a loving manner, and she's just lit up. She's finally smiling because she hasn't been, for the most part. But yeah, that was the end of the snipe hunt. Did you guys have anything in this episode that y'all wanted to?
I just want to say, I think this episode represented so many positive things. It represented wholesome family. It represented love. It represented vulnerability. It represented great communication, to where you can have a relationship with someone. Because when I think of outdoors camping, hard pass. I was just thinking about all the mosquitoes that was eating them up as they were out there. But we also don't really see, y'all wasn't thinking about the mosquitoes, they was probably,
I wasn't,
no.
I'm just laughing at mosquitoes eating them up. That's just funny.
Just like dude from Stranger Things.
Callbacks.
Right. But it was just to see that type of scene in this type of episode of a Black family. There was no drama. There was no arguing. There was no conflict. And so that I really appreciate this episode. It moved pretty slow, but just the concept of it was safe. It was wholesome. It was like a breath of fresh air.
We need that.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Enough trauma, enough hardship, just let us flourish. But no, I was reading the lyrics to "Your Love Is King" and seeing how much it related to the episode. And I think the music has been good, not just this episode, but throughout the series. Really, the series
really, the series has been on point.
Yeah, but speaking for this season, I thought they've done a really good job of incorporating the music, and we talked about last episode with Ern and Darius in the car. I mean, in the van, and just different, different things like that. So I thought that was dope. But I wish I would have looked at the lyrics to this song when the episode came out, just to see how it ties together, because everything they do has a purpose and a deeper meaning. And I think this is one of the shows where I really enjoy it a lot because it rewards rewatches. And that's why I really enjoy us reviewing it, because we pick up, Jazz will pick up on something off the dome that me and you may not pick up, and then all around in the circle. So that's dope. I like that.
And I definitely want to add, and we'll see this in some more episodes, it was a lot of Black joy.
Yeah,
these episodes had so much Black joy from little stuff. But I'll bring a call back after we finish reviewing everything. But just that good Black joy, it was good to see.
Yeah. The goof who sat by the door. I actually thought about the spook who sat by the door, which also made me think about Snowfall, because that's who basically the father was portraying, the gentleman in the actual book, as he was reading the book in the last season he was in. So this one, what's this? What BAN? I forgot what it was, what it stood for. But I remember they had an episode in the first season. Basically, it had Al. He was on there.
But he was at the table talking to somebody.
That's
That's a good callback. I didn't even think about that.
I didn't either, but as soon as he said the news network, I remember the episode.
Yeah, that was super dope. So this time they're doing a documentary series about Disney. And the one time they had a black CEO. This episode here, was y'all ready for this episode?
Not at all. Not at all. It was I was gonna say it was weird because this is the final season and this is like this is the third to last episode. So I'm looking for, because I don't watch the previews. I don't really like, I just go, I watch Atlanta. I don't watch the previews. I don't really see the episode titles or nothing. I think I did for the last episode, but I was just like shocked because I'm like, they're doing a standalone episode this late in the series. Like, it's not like season 3. Like, we knew we had another season coming. So the standalones was like, it was cool, and then it tied together. This, I was just like, yo, what's going on? But it was so captivated because you're looking at the story. For me, I was looking at the story to see how it tied into Earn and everybody. Like, I was waiting for like Darius or something to be watching it at the end and be mind blown or something like that. But I think it was a good. It was one of the. I don't want to say unique because I feel like all the episodes are unique. I don't really know the word that I'm trying to figure out right now, but I think it was well done.
Creative.
It's not really creative. It's more so like I guess it took a risk. You know what I mean? Because you're wrapping up. Yeah, you're wrapping up the whole show. So like you're getting into a deep episode like this and a deep story like this. I was just like, okay.
Yeah, I really enjoyed this one. We, kind of like I said, it's like a mockumentary or documentary of when the first black man was made CEO and how that became afoot. And they basically in the 90s, Disney was going under, but they did Little Mermaid, and the Little Mermaid brought them back to stardom, back to the rise and fame. But at the same exact time, in LA, this was during the LA riots when Rodney King, the cops that beat him were acquitted for for what they did to him, which was filmed, which is kind of crazy, but typically how that goes for us in media, the law, the system, and things of that nature. So Thomas Washington, he was the first black CEO of Disney. He was named after Tom Jones. Do y'all know who Tom Jones is?
From Fresh Prince, the guy who was dancing?
Yeah.
Carlton?
Yeah, that's him.
Okay.
Okay, Chris.
Carlton love that guy. Yeah, bro. Oh man. Shout out to Fresh Prince.
Bel Air coming back. They better make Carson dance at least once.
He's not.
Yeah,
not this
Carlton.
Not this Carlton. He does not have to dance.
Yeah, he had to be super high.
They got to.
He got to keep his nose clean.
But
in more ways than one, baby. So they, the parents of Thomas, they basically named him after Tom Jones, which they say most people back in the day used to name their first kid after their father, but they felt he was going to be different, so they named after Tom Jones, one of the dad's favorite musician at the time. And they say he just grew up as a different kid. He was, very, I guess, nerdy would be the proper way without being disrespectful, as he was. And he was obsessed with Astro Boy growing up. So he used to draw him and do different things. Who was y'all favorite cartoon character as a kid? Like the first one that y'all can think of?
I'm going to say one of the characters from Gargoyles.
Of course.
Mine was Scooby-Doo because on Cartoon Network, Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island came out. And I thought that was the best movie of all time.
Chris, that movie was so good.
That movie is amazing. I want to rewatch that.
It aged very well.
That movie is amazing. I used to be watching that like, yo, this is the best thing ever. I used to love Scooby-Doo.
Scooby, they're real.
Exactly, like it was real. I was just like, yo, this is insane. I love that movie.
Yeah, I think I gravitated to Sonic first.
Sonic was dope too.
Gravitated to Sonic. So, so he was obsessed with Astro Boy. He was drawing Astro Boy in different places, and he was talking to I think that was his cousin. He was talking to his cousin, and he told him, "Why can't I wish you can come and save us?" He was like, "Save us from what?" He was, like everything, and he was just mentioning the the way they had to grow up in their actual, in their neighborhood, just saying from just, watching TV, seeing how the white people were living in these different, in better homes, better lifestyle. Then you go to the black neighborhoods, you're living in poverty. You go outside and you're getting beat up by black people, so they rob you for your bike and then ride the bike back by your house. Back in the day, which that never happened to me. I definitely got my bike stole. I wasn't on my bike, so let me put that out there first. But it definitely got stole. Never seen that bike again a day in my life.
I never got a bike stolen, but that definitely reminded me of Friday.
Man, so like I said, he used to get picked on. He wanted to go to the Savannah College of Art and Design. He, pretty much told them, he went to the school and he told them that he was going to work for Disney. And unfortunately, the class laughed at him, but that's what he had his mind set to. Regardless of that, and he said when he did his application for the design school, he sent in a sketchbook as well with it, which is super dope. Have you ever made one of them before? Just like draw the pictures and flip book?
No, not me.
I used to do it in the textbook, like in the top corner.
Yeah,
I did that, but not on the actual book.
Yeah, I think in art, I think they showed us how to do it. So I did them at that point, but that was a lost talent at that point.
Did y'all used to do like the little bubble Dragon Ball Z characters? You remember that, Jason? Did y'all have that down there?
The bubble Dragon Ball Z characters?
Yeah, so it was like Dragon Ball Z was huge, of course, when we was kids, but it was like we couldn't, like, everybody couldn't draw, like, Goku, like everything detailed. So we would make them like bubble characters, but they would have the hair like Goku. Y'all never did that?
No, I can actually draw.
Oh, is that a shot?
I'm not saying. I'm just saying.
I stick with my little bubble Goku.
I can draw the dog from Garfield. Easy.
You can draw Odie. Can you draw Garfield?
Don't nobody care about him. I told you what I can draw, Jason. Why are you asking about extra people? I'm like, I can draw the dog. Here go Jason. What about Garfield? Did I say Garfield?
So Jasper, that was his favorite. That was his favorite thing to draw when he was in school. He used to always draw Garfield, so I started drawing him. And then, of course,
Jasper.
It was
Jasper J.
Yeah.
I wonder how Jasper doing.
Chris, you remember, right?
Sure.
Oh man, come on. Y'all some busters, man. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk. She gonna really play with me like that, man. Can't stand her, dude. Can't stand her.
The fact that it took you so long to catch on. You were so excited.
No, when she said it, I was like, oh man, she played me. Let me ask Chris. I knew but I was like, let me not, because I'm like, oh, he knew. And him like, nah, he don't know neither, man. Y'all, I tell you what. So he kind of gravitated to this book, a book about Goofy, which it was. I should have researched this because I wanted to know if that was actually true. They pretty much made Goofy be a dumb black dude, that's who he was portrayed to be. He was a half-wit and a hick, a good-natured colored boy who seems to take the easy way with some he has like barbershop philosophies, and he accepts things for what they are. That's a nigga. That's it. Like, it's a nigga.
It adds up.
I mean, he made a project called Goofy Please, and he just put him in all these different exceptional places, just showing, he can rise above what they initially wanted him to be. And he made like a thesis film when his father died of Prince. Looked like a little sad film. What did y'all think about this Prince video?
He was on the moon, right? Or whatever.
Yeah, he was like on the world or something.
Yeah. I thought it was well done. It looked like Prince, so he did a good job.
It reminded me of Invincible, the last episode when he was on a different planet with that alien. Yeah, that's where I immediately went. But I thought it was cool. I thought it was creative. So
that Goofy thing is interesting because they mentioned what's the other dog? Pluto.
Pluto. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so that's actually very.
Yeah. So, like I said, he got hired at Disney during the time of when Little Mermaid was a hit. And he began as like an animator, allegedly on the DuckTales, and this is when the uprisings began. And he was talking to his mom. He was just very hurt, talking about he want to go down there and go to the riots, and she was like, "No, just set the fires to your paper, to your artmanship, and that'll help you get to where you need to be." And at this point, they made Beauty and the Beast. One of the leaders at the company passed away, and this would probably never happen in a million years. They vote on the person who's going to take the position, but the guy's name is Thompson, while his name was Thomas, so they had to give him the position, and then he becomes the CEO of Disney. And what you was talking about, Chris, he sat the people down and he let them look at it, and he was like, why would Goofy allow Mickey Mouse to put Pluto on the chain? They both dogs. That don't make sense.
Mm-hmm.
And then this is where we kind of see his mind to begin to I guess flip, and then he said he was gonna make one of the blackest movie ever. And I know this is one of Jazz's movies that she enjoys.
He love that movie.
Yo, a Goofy movie is fire.
It is like, classic.
It's amazing. It's funny. I was recently singing a song out in public
back
in October.
The Powerline song?
Yes.
It
was yes, it was Ata. Because Eye to Eye and Stand Out, my two favorite songs from the song movie. Shout out to Tevin Campbell.
Facts.
Amazing. When you mention him.
This guy. So there was an in-betweener, basically a guy who does the pictures in between, but I guess the people that get the credit is the person that makes the first picture and the person that makes the last picture. And he wanted him to be the lead animator when he made this actual movie. And it was kind of crazy how they drew the parallel, because they wrote the episode, how they drew the parallels to the Goofy movie being about a black fatherhood, dealing with segregation, low income, fear of violence, incarceration, and a large amount of cheese in American diets. And that automatically made me think about the guy that was going crazy with like the cheese whiz in the movie.
Oh yeah, the guy, I don't want to call him a stoner, but yeah, he was like that. He had that.
That was Pauly Shore, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
He's like
the dude from Encino Man,
Tower
right?
of Cheese.
Yeah, that's the man from Encino Man.
Yeah.
And he was just saying how they were just showing systemic oppression, for how him dealing with his situation and how he was going to get out of it. And then we get introduced to his wife. What did y'all think about Thomas's wife? Him and his wife, their marriage.
Go ahead, Jazz.
Oh no, you got it, Chris.
Yeah. So, like we see the marriage, and then she was saying they didn't have everything, right? They didn't have everything, but everything that they didn't have, he used to draw a picture for it, which is, like I said, this is like a cute thing, I guess. Until you actually need like a microwave, and this nigga just drew a picture and he put it up again.
My food's still cold. That's not going to heat up my food.
I mean, I guess you'd be like, Chris, you put everything on the pot in the pan, just recook it. No,
that don't work for everything, but each his own, Chris, I guess.
I ain't gonna get into Jason's diet, so let's continue on.
No, we're not doing it.
You got peasant tongue.
We ain't doing it. And then which is also another thing that we're talking about was how Black masculinity during the 90s was in a weird space. And then they show a picture, a clip of In Living Color, and we see the you remember that segment with Damon and David Allen Greer when they was dressed up as the
I know they used to their quote was "hated it."
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that's one. Yeah,
but I don't remember what the name of the segment was.
So you have that, and they said, so you have the Black men in the queer folk comedy space, and then you have the hyper masculinity portrayals. Then you have New Jack City.
Mm.
You got at Wesley Snipes killing Alan Payne. Chris, you ever seen New Jack City?
Yes, I've seen New Jack City.
Making sure you my brother's keeper.
Jason is so
I'm just trying to make
disrespectful.
sure. I'm just trying to make sure you my brother's keeper and not my brother.
Man.
I'm just trying to make sure.
We saw what happened with, but Wesley, he had to do
But
it,
Nino,
right? He had to do it, right?
He had to kill him. He had to kill him. He had to kill him.
Somebody's sitting there like, no, he didn't. Somebody out there is like, he didn't have to shoot him.
They have a crush on Alan Payne. There's no other way he could do that.
Man, and then his son. So we talking. Then we have his son who's actually telling them about the story, and he was just saying how Black exceptionalism is created by somebody outside of the Black community, because they only look at us for what we can bring to a situation. Because in the opening of Goofy movie, it shows Max. He's singing a song, and then he dunks a basketball. Then the crowd. That's when all the students begin to go crazy for who Max was, and he was saying that Dad was just saying like outside of these realms, like they think we have a limit on what Blackness is or who Black people are, and we can go beyond that. Like, don't allow them to limit us to, limit us to
Put you
this
in the box.
Yep, exactly. There we go. I was over here reaching for the straws. I'm like, somebody got to get me out of here.
It's like, help me, help me. Jazz is sitting there smiling. She's like, oh, you're good. Let him drown. He'll be fine. Look, Jazz.
I wasn't sure where he was going.
The swimming.
Yeah, exactly.
The swimming can't even swim.
You teasing me about swimming? Help yourself. Look how they changed. Boy, I tell you.
Then he was. And then they were just going through like the parallels of the movie in real life, and it made me think about Lovecraft Country, because he was saying that the map in the Goofy movie was supposed to be a parallel to the Green Books back in the day, where they had to make sure they knew where to travel so they wouldn't be in a sundown town or get caught somewhere they weren't supposed to be. And then this is one of the funniest scenes. You got Thomas in the class as he's talking to, Thomas at the business, he's talking to the job. He's telling them about what Black people look like, how they act and how they do. And then then Tom walks in on the crutch. He was like, see, there go Tom. You can't write about Black characters if you don't know what Black people are like. Tom took his ass to the barbecue. He said Tom said the wrong thing and he got his ass dealt with, but now he can draw Black people. And man, I started tripping, and he was sitting there, he was just like, he said, man, then one of the white guys, he was saying, I drew so many daps, and he was like, man, that's not a dap. He said, I did it until my hands began to bleed. Then you go into the class and he's doing these little dances.
Oh, the little montage. Teach him how to dance.
And then he said, you can see his knees. Look at this. Y'all see this? Y'all need to be drawing. I'm dancing. Y'all need to be drawing this. This is how Black people move. And then we get, we have some cameos in this episode. We got Brian McKnight. Then we also have Sinbad, which is nice to see. That kind of hurt my heart, man. I think, he had a stroke a couple of years ago. I had forgot about it. So it was just dope to see him.
Yeah, I didn't really recall him having a stroke.
Yeah, it happened a couple of years ago. But like I said, still, it was nice to see him. He was saying they was basically in the office plotting to overthrow all the white people out of Hollywood. So that's what they were doing down there. And basically, Brian McKnight put Tevin Campbell in the ear of Thomas to be able to get Tevin Campbell on the record.
Wasn't this when Thomas had his wife and they had remember the black and white pictures? Didn't he have those Dwayne Wayne glasses?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and Sinbad show up. That's a reach, but it's just a little connection.
No, that's not. That's a really good connection.
Yeah,
Sinbad
different
was
world.
in a few episodes of A Different World.
Yeah, he was the main character, Different World.
The first season, right? The first couple of seasons.
Yeah,
he
maybe
was in the first couple.
Yeah, he was with what's her name? Jaleesa.
Jaleesa. Yeah.
Yeah. So Thomas, like I said, they said Thomas began to move around like he had a chip on his shoulder. He said he told the lead animator, he said, hey, come to my office, I want to show you something. He was like, he had a gun. at work. He said, I got to remind him who I am when I'm at work. He said he just began to lose himself. He became mean. He kind of went off on his son Maxwell, and he was like, and the mom was like, you can't be like that because that y'all been like this forever. And he was like, but everything I'm doing is for him. Then they asked him, was he in control of the budget? And he was like, of course I am. I'm Goofy.
He nailed it too.
He's been waiting to do that.
Yeah, he wanted to do
you
that
did
for
good,
a minute.
Jason. You did good.
Gosh.
Yo, Jason been practicing in the mirror before the episode. Yo, that was funny. Man. That scene was low key scary though when it came. Like when he was. That scene was low key scary, but it was funny. They was trying to terrify his kids.
Imagine them saying like, "Hey man, you gotta make sure that you get that goofy laugh when you do it too." But they said they wanted something. It's out of their business. They offered this man $75 million. What y'all doing? To stay in Disney or to leave Disney?
Listen, $75 million.
How much is my impact? I'm just saying because like he was CEO, right?
Mm-hmm. You the CEO of the company. So I mean, of course you CEO, but you have the board members who you know how you know the politics.
Yeah, but then it's also y'all just can't kick me out of here due to the reason why y'all wasn't able to do that when I got here because of everything that was going on. Mm-hmm. You would have, So I guess it just depends on the impact that I can have. Because I mean, you making a movie that could last forever. I mean, Goofy movie's still fire to this day.
Oh yeah, for sure.
So, but I understand if 75 million, like you done, you can retire, you can go about your business and just pay off your kids' tuition and grandkids and all of that. So I guess it just depends on your headspace, what you want your legacy to be.
It's a good one, Jazz. I'm taking that 75 and I'm out of there. What you doing, Chris?
Chris taking that money.
Yeah, I'm taking that 75.
I'm taking. I mean, you may never make that money as the CEO. There's no true way to say if you ever make that. Just giving because the company has to continue to perform. If they got that money at that, but I also got to think about if they got the kind of money to just give to you to get you out of there. They sitting on something over there that's about to happen.
I mean, Disney.
Disney
got it. Like 75 million ain't nothing to Disney.
And they even bigger now, which is kind of crazy. So
right.
It's ridiculous at this point.
Yeah. With foresight, then I'll probably be like, nah, y'all about to y'all gonna raise that price a little bit in a couple of years. But at that moment, I would have probably took the 75. Somebody give me a little time machine or something. Like, nah, man.
Man, what? Whoa. All this Disney, they got they monopolizing the business.
Yeah, but like 750 million.
50 million, yes, sir. Give it to me. And they said basically Thomas has been going around through the different neighborhoods, telling people, hey, I'm here to make the blackest movie ever. And they said he was trying to put the different gangs inside the movie. He's trying to put the different people, but what made him really go crazy and just leave is the ending. He wanted it to end where the police come and kill Goofy, I'm assuming, at the end. And they changed it to, he said they want them to go to a thrift store and they see the Huey Newton rotund chair. And then this is when Max finally gets that mindset of knowing what it's all about. And then I guess they see the police get killed, but they canceled that and they made it where Bigfoot was the imaginary thing or the thing that they finally see. And that makes it big. And what?
I was just laughing at the Bigfoot scene from the movie.
Yeah. And then he left and they left. He just leaves the job, goes missing. And they find his car in the bottom of the lake him and his son used to go to all the time. And they show all these different the pictures of the scene. And they got the big goofy shoes.
The gloves.
The big goofy gloves. Man.
And they never found a body.
And they didn't find a body, but they made the blackest movie that Disney has ever seen. So yeah, did y'all have anything in this episode?
Did y'all know that it was about the Goofy? Like, how far into the episode did y'all piece it together?
I think probably halfway.
Okay.
I wasn't exactly sure what this episode was.
Yeah.
So I just remember before I watched it, seeing in our group chats.
Mm-hmm.
I think Austin said, he was like, I gotta Google. As soon as he finished watching, he was like, oh, I had to Google this person because it seemed like it was like a real documentary.
Yeah.
So I was just like, wait, what is this episode about? But yeah, I wasn't exactly sure where it was gonna go.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah, nah. I mean, the goof by the door, it made me think it was gonna be about Goofy, but I didn't know to what extremes it was gonna be. Yeah.
Gotcha.
What it was gonna be about.
I thought it was about a coon.
Oh, that would have, yeah. Yeah, I had no idea because, like I said, I don't really see the episode titles or anything, so that was a dope little surprise.
I think that's just Jason. Jason looks at the titles.
Jason look at the titles. He be trying to find like previews, and he be looking up the directors' Twitter accounts, see if they post any hints.
I mean, Donald Glover directed this one, so this is all Donald Glover production.
Oh, okay.
And then we got episode 9, Andrew Wyeth, Alfred's World. What did y'all think about this episode? I think one of y'all said it was mid, right?
It was me. It was me.
You thought this episode was mid?
Yeah, this was probably my least favorite episode from this season.
I get it. I liked it. I enjoyed it. There was an actual Andrew Wyeth is an actual artist. His most famous painting is called Christina's World. It's just like it's a lady on a farm with a farmhouse, and she's just sitting out in the pasture, just laid out. And that was like in the 1940s or something. So it was just an interpretation of that, basically, with Al, which we see Al out in the forest. He's shooting his gun, shooting the target. He's avoiding these iron calls, which made me think about when Doug was. It made me think about when Doug was skipping out on all them calls. Like he kept on getting, like people kept on reaching out to him, but he was like not answering it.
It reminded me of Van in Europe ignoring Ern's. Poor Ern, he keep getting ignored.
Exactly.
Like wow.
And like in the episode 6, whenever they were at the house, we see that Al has a bit of a green thumb. So now he's growing, unless he just knows weed pretty well, he's growing weed in a grow form. Which the callback was when he was talking to Soldier Boy. He told him he needed to get a safe form. He was like, a safe form. What is that? Like a good neighbor, like a good nigga, a safe form is there. So that's that was a nice callback, because he basically had it. Which there's also a callback at the end of the episode where Al was actually talking about. He was talking to him about, even with the safe form, it's the same exact thing as anywhere else. The same exact thing can happen.
I think towards the end of the episode too, after everything happened, Ern finally, he finally got through to Al, and they was talking. I think he had just been attacked. Well, I'm getting ahead of him. Sorry. I'm getting ahead of him. I'm about to spoil the whole episode. Go ahead, Jason. My bad.
I mean, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. Not too much happens in here. So he goes to the store. He's looking for an animal repellent, and he's looking for a cast iron skillet. But they said they don't have them, but they can order them. It's going to take a couple of weeks. And he was like, nah, I'm not going to wait. I want to. And he was like, he looks up. Of course, you see the flag behind him, so you know where he's at. You see the sign that said, "We don't call the police."
Bruh. He was like, "Order that from Amazon."
He got so offended.
Yeah,
this guy shows up everywhere because he was in P Valley, and he was also in She-Hulk.
He was in She-Hulk.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
found my link of thrones. It's like not good.
So yeah, he was the sheriff in P Valley.
Just let us know.
I did. I got you. And so Al, I feel like Al, this entire show then since the show has come out, he's just been searching for himself, and that's I feel like that's what he was doing on the farm. He's growing plants. He's trying to fix his tractor. The entire time he pulls up. He pulls up a YouTube channel. These backhoes ain't loyal. To learn how to fix it, and the guy, it's like he's talking to the guy in the YouTube, and he was like, "Yeah, like make sure you have it on block. This killed like 2 of my uncles." Like, "No, I'm serious." And now it's like, "Nah, let me get him up under here." As soon as he gets out, boom.
Right. I'm like, that's definitely a Final Destination type of situation. It's like you might want to watch the video first before
yeah.
something like this. But it was cool seeing him in this environment.
Mm-hmm.
He's just doing realistically like everyday type of stuff, maintenance that somebody would have if they own some property, own a farm or anything like that. He's like, let me get this tractor taken care of. He sees some damage in the door of where he's growing his weed. He's just like, okay, I gotta get that fixed. And so it's just us seeing him and just him, he's normalized. He's not a celebrity. I didn't get that at all from him in this episode. He was just somebody just doing everyday things, minding his business. He wasn't really on the phone. Him shooting his gun, I thought was funny because he was just like, hey, they're not gonna catch me slipping again, because he almost got killed 2 episodes ago at the mall.
Mm-hmm.
So seeing him in the woods working on his aim and everything, I thought was pretty cool. But yeah, then they exchanged Jason when they were in the store, when he heard some noise coming from his shed of where he was growing his weed. And he was just like, what the hell is going on? It's just like plants was knocked down.
Ate and then everything.
Right. And then he slips on a pile of shit, which he took a picture of. I wouldn't have thought to take a picture of it, but I guess it makes sense because you're just like, maybe somebody in this area exactly knows what this is. And so the dude at the store is like, uh-oh, you got one of them. It's a particular type of hog.
Feral hogs, yeah.
A feral hog.
Right. So I was just like, so you got a hog eating your weed. And so he's just like, let me get a repellent. He's like, yeah, maybe if I knew what he was eating. He's like, corn. But, and then like, he set up Al to try to trap it. But y'all have tried to do that?
Hell no. Look at hold on, wait. I'm gonna read this to you. Hold on. Feral hogs.
Jason pulled up the wiki page.
I did. No, I mean, I need to stop doing that.
Right.
Look.
You did it again.
I did. Look, feral hogs are pests. Feral hogs are not native to the United States. They are invasive species, public nuisance, and a threat to Arkansas. Whatever. They compete for feed resources. They destroy habitat by rooting and wallowing, and will eat ground nesting birds, eggs, fawns, and young domestic livestock. They also carry up to 45 bacteria, diseases, and parasites. I can't say those words, including herpes. So yes, shoot them on sight.
It's hogs out here with herpes? That is insane.
Shoot the hog on sight. Shoot the hog on sight.
Wow.
Feral ones. I don't know how you determine, but shoot them.
Just rewatch the episode. Just do your best.
Nah, don't do what Paperboy did. Shoot him.
Yeah, please.
So he's out here. He's still trying to fix his tractor. He finally gets it fixed. He's on it. He listens to his Outkast track. He's riding around, and it's like either the tire came off or the hubcap came off. I'm not sure which one it was, but he jumps off to check it. Go ahead.
It was on an incline, so it got stuck.
Got you.
And for some reason, he thought it was a good idea to be on the side that it was leaning. I'm like, Al, this is not. Get on the other side if you're gonna do something. But
man, too late. He falls. The tractor falls on him, messes up his foot. Now he has to army crawl all the way back to the house. And as he's making it to the house, got a little Casey moment. He can see he can see the Amazon truck at the house, and he's trying to scream out, but they can't hear him because they have headphones on. Jazz, it just registered with Jazz. It just registered. It just registered.
Did Chris know?
No.
No.
Okay. Okay. I'm sitting here like
that
name
Scream.
sounds so familiar.
It's Scream, but I didn't.
It was Casey from the first movie.
Yeah, I didn't get it off rip.
Yeah, so he's screaming out to her. She ain't listening. She got her headphones out. She living her good life.
Blasting the music. Boy, I'd be hot, man.
Hey, but then I'll make it to the house. And he's sitting outside, bro. How would y'all have felt at this moment when my Al makes it to the house? He's sitting at the steps, and then he see the hog eating these plants.
I just be like, it's just my time at this point.
Chris, you're giving up?
Everything went bad. Like, you in a racist town with the guy. Your tractor is in the ditch. You hurt your foot. And I crawl with the lady for whatever reason. She decides to blast her music on her shift. Like, and I just get to the house and the hog is just like, all right, guy. Like, you got it.
Bruh, that would have, man, I said, bruh, this man is not about to fight a hog.
So
I done been on tour. I done made my music. Like, it's just my time.
So it's funny because Chris breaking down everything shitty that happened. I'm sitting like, yeah, okay, I can understand why somebody would just give up on life.
It's clearly my time to go. Like, I almost got shot at the mall. Like, I'm just not supposed to be here. Like,
but like, I'm sorry, that hog is running towards him. You gotta fight it. You got to do what Paperboy did, Chris. You can't just sit there and let him eat you alive.
I'm a fight, but at this point, I'm just resigned to, like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like, it's just.
I mean, I would definitely be like, okay, I'm about to die, but I'm going to make sure this hog fights for this meal.
Yeah, I'm just.
But I also thought it was funny. I thought it was funny, like, Amazon was able to go up to this house because it seemed like he was in the middle of nowhere. And he was still able to get Amazon packages.
And she was in the middle of nowhere with music blasted. If I go to the middle of nowhere, I'm not gonna have music blasted on my shift. So this is definitely like, this is like Final Destination. Well, yeah, you're right, Jazz.
We watch a lot of scary movies.
Maybe she was in her safe form. I don't know. So she felt very aware.
What?
It wasn't a safe form?
Sure.
I'm not just saying that's what he called it, a safe form.
But it's not safe for her. She could easily get snatched up. Like, can you imagine snatching up an Amazon truck that's in the middle of nowhere?
Oh,
you know how many packages are on there?
Yeah, that's
the one you want. Not saying I condone. Actually, that's a crime. Don't attack anybody.
What you been? You been plotting on the Amazon man?
No.
Jesse, that truck on down the street. Like, yeah, one day.
You over here planning a score like she ain't Grand Theft Auto. I'm gonna hit that nigga one day. I just need 2 more people with me.
Wait till the holidays.
Wow,
that's the best. Hey, that be. Let me be quiet.
Please, 30. We're close to 30.
Let me not snitch on myself. So Al, the Amazon package was right on time, because it happened to be a cast iron skillet, and he used it to kill the hog, and he makes it in the house. He finally answers the phone and tells Aaron, let me just hit you up tomorrow, bro. I'm, farm stuff, and then they have this conversation, and he was saying, Atlanta not going nowhere, and you just doing this just to see if it's something that you would like. You don't have to stay, but just like a farm, you can die out there, and you may not be found for 2 or 3 weeks. You never know.
Exactly.
And they have this conversation about. He said his neck was hurting, and they had a conversation about sunscreen.
Yeah.
About him being sunburned, and he did not believe black people get sunburned.
I didn't until like a couple years ago. I didn't either, honestly. I was just like, I didn't.
Yeah, we definitely can get it too. That sun does not care about your pigment and where you come from. So
it's not easy for us to get sunburned.
Yeah.
Like others, but it can definitely happen. No, you know what I'm trying to say. But like
daywalkers.
Sure. People without melanin, you know what I'm trying to say. But like, I'll go in the sun. I don't really wear too much sunscreen. Like I haven't had sunburn in years.
I mean, if you got a 12-person tent on the beach, Jazz, you better not get sunburned.
Jason, it was 3.
I mean, you should be well protected.
You should be well covered. Like,
I mean,
no,
yeah, but
no.
you also want to make sure you get that good tan. You know,
It's
flip
true.
over like a piece of bacon, all of that. Make sure the toes match the legs, match everything else.
What just happened?
I'm just saying, like,
you went from bacon to toast
to being
bacon
flipped.
toes.
Like, what you good? You good? You good over there?
All right. I see what you guys are doing. But
it was all a dream.
Used to be. Oh.
Chris trying to sing the lyrics and laughing at the same time.
Yeah, it's not working, but shout out to me.
But this is the second time where Paperboy didn't let Earn or anybody know exactly what happened to him. Because he was just like, yeah, let me talk to you tomorrow. And Earn was like, okay, cool. And then when he was getting shot at, they was like, what you do today? He was like, nothing.
Yeah.
It's like he's not even, I caught that. I was just like, he's having some really life-threatening moments happen to him, and he's not talking to nobody about them.
Yeah, that was the callback I was thinking about earlier. Yeah.
He might need to, I mean, I know everybody handles different things, but both of these events seemed extremely traumatic.
I mean, he been shot at before. Well, they didn't shoot at him in season 2.
He got jumped.
He got jumped.
He got jumped. He got robbed. He got robbed at gunpoint though in season 2.
Right, and then we see what happened when he was in
Europe with season 3.
Right, with the kids chasing him, and he just seemed like he snapped back to Robin's season of the kids that beat him up in the woods. So
got his phone stolen. Yo, is he okay?
Right.
Can someone check on him?
We need to check on Al.
Yeah, we need to.
They kind of addressed in the last episode though. That's what I was talking about when I was just listening to it. It was like, you don't trust people, huh? Only yourself, huh, brother?
Mm-hmm.
You're like, don't brother me. Don't you brother me, nigga.
Like that episode was wild.
Episode 10. It was all a dream. We are here to tie this baby up with a bow and a ribbon. How y'all feeling going into this finale episode?
I thought that I was with you guys this episode because I was curious how they're gonna wrap everything up, the direction that they were gonna go. And I think this was the episode me and Jason discussed in the chat. We were trying to figure out if Darius had a standalone. And this wasn't a Darius standalone, but he was a focus and everything. And I was like, okay, what's going on? How are they gonna everything, And of course we talked about that theory that was online regarding Atlanta. And then the episode title, when I saw it was all a dream. So I was just kind of like, okay, I didn't know what to expect.
So it opens up. Judge Judy's on the TV. You see, he got like I know I don't want to mention dude name, but he sampled the song. It's like "Lift Us Up" or something like. I can't think of what the song is, but you hear the song. I'm not talking about dude.
Yeah,
but so they listening to the song. Darius is listening to the song. And he's looking at the TV. You see like the Judge Judy, then it goes off, and then the Popeye chicken commercial comes on. And then you look over and he look at Darius, not Darius, he look at Earn and Al. You're just like, I mean, you pretty much just everything is coming like, man, this is the end of this. Like we finally to the end. It's like, it sucks to see this. And then they're talking and they're just saying they're going to a sushi restaurant later. And they asked Darius, was he going? And he said he's going to he got a death date. Basically we're going to like a deprivation tank. Would y'all ever do that?
I would.
I think I would now, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
What you scared of, Jason?
I can't float first off, so we already got one issue. We can sit down in it. You can just sit down.
I don't know. From what I've seen in media, I don't think I've never seen anyone sit down.
It will always blow my mind that Jason attacked me so much for when I could not swim, and he can't even float. And this water is not even deep. This is probably like 2 feet. Like,
I mean, if you flip over like Darius, you might drown. I don't know. And then he leaves out, and then we have Ern and Al. Jazz, you get the song, the old McAlfred had her for
him. I thought that the lyrics was dope, but I didn't have it referenced in anything outside of the old McDonald song. But
yeah, I'm just saying that you know the song, like the one that they were singing that you
the original that from like child years.
No, Jazz, the one.
Are you asking her if she knew old McDonald?
No, just the one that
That's
Al
what I
and
thought
Ern,
he was asking.
the one Al and Ern was singing. Did you know? Maybe she was gonna recite the song that they sung on the podcast. I didn't know.
Why would you think I would do that?
I mean, why not? It's just
Just temper your expectations, please.
And then they pull up to the sushi restaurant, and they get valet. But like they made a very good point. They said, how is it valet if I have to park the car and hand you my keys? It's like I just gave you my car, if anything.
Yeah. Pretty much. Like I had to park it and then I come back and get my keys from you. That just means I can't leave when I want to.
Exactly. And they say it's like they see a Popeyes as they go in. So you smell that? Oh my God, that stuff smell good. And like I said, I feel like they filmed this around that time when the chicken sandwich was a craze. It was going crazy at this point. So they was like, man, we gotta get that. Like soon as we finish with this, we gotta go. Would y'all go to I mean, y'all eat sushi?
I do.
I've had it before, but I'm not like if I had a choice between sushi and Popeyes, I'm going to Popeyes.
You eat raw sushi, Jazz?
Yes, I eat raw and cooked sushi.
I've only had raw. I didn't know it could come cooked until later on, but
yeah,
I think the whole point is,
it depends on what mood I'm in. Because sushi, I don't think the sushi at this spot look good. But
no.
But sushi is it's pretty good.
Y'all think the chicken sandwich caused COVID?
Nah, I don't think so, man.
That's a valid theory, though. You think about it.
Like, I mean, the world went crazy.
Yeah, it was
the world went crazy after them.
Yeah, it was something.
People was like, man, I just had my fifth one. I was like, what?
Were y'all waiting in line to get a sandwich?
Absolutely not.
Somebody brought me one. No.
I remember I waited probably about 10 minutes and the traffic was crazy. But 10 minutes is not long. And I was like, okay, that's pretty straight.
For a fast food restaurant, it is.
I mean, a sandwich that just dropped that everybody is getting 10 minutes.
I don't think I've ever seen no sandwich hit the streets like the Popeyes chicken sandwich.
I tell you, it was something else in it. Like, y'all, look.
Then they ran out. Then they had a chicken shortage. They had a whole chicken shortage.
That's second batch. That was them clone chickens.
You hit the step. You had the stepped on chicken.
No, not me. I'm just saying that second batch.
I didn't eat them after they had the shortage. I was like, yeah, nah, they don't make no sense. But I'm still eating the regular. I'm eating the regular chicken up there. Kind of crazy.
Make you think of a good burger. They cooking up Mondo burgers, Mondo chickens. Like, nah, something right.
That's exactly what it was. I remember somebody was explaining to me the difference between the Popeyes chicken sandwich and the Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich. I'm like, man, hold on, baby D. You need to calm down because you wilding right now.
What's the difference? What was they saying?
Right, I was just talking about how thick the chicken, the thickness in the chicken, the type of crunch the chicken got, and it's actually chicken compared to whatever it is that Chick-fil-A was having.
What they studied the chicken sandwich when they eating it?
Look, you can see people aren't loyal because a lot of folks turn their backs on Chick-fil-A.
Look at Jason raise his hand.
Jason ain't loyal because
I love Chick-fil-A. I'll never.
A lot of people, as soon as they got that Popeyes chicken sandwich, they said Chick-fil-A is trash. I'm like, whoa.
Like,
you gotta relax.
Like we just say that's good too. We can say
that's all you can do.
That's perfectly fine. But I was gonna say, man, like I had a homeboy, God rest his soul. That man said, bro, I can tell you what kind of pizza you got just by the crust. I said, nigga, what?
That's the type of people be studying their food when they get it.
Chris, it's that kid that with the meme where he crying and just eating, biting the sandwich. It's so good.
He can do what? He said, man, just hold the piece up and I can tell you what kind of pizza it is. Bruh. Yeah, I don't know.
Actually, Papa John's, you can tell their crust. You can tell their crust from other pieces.
Bruh, I ain't studying no crust like that.
Yeah,
I'm sure I can eat it and I can probably point to the place, but like just looking at it, like, nah, bro, it ain't that. Darius is at the store picking up a prescription, random, because it wasn't even his. But he picking up a prescription in the store, and he's telling them the name. Just like, of course, it's Darius. He got to be ambiguous whenever he does something. He just gonna throw some just random stuff. When we see a legend in the store, we see Kree. What y'all think about this scene?
I got
this
happy.
Scene caught me. I did too. It caught me off guard because I was just like, "Ooh, okay, Kree, we see you in here. Let's see what's going on." I love their interaction.
It was.
I love the energy that they were bouncing off each other, and I would love to see a project with both of them in it. I think it'll be dope.
Ooh, that would be dope.
I think that would be really good. And just the conversation that they were having, and with her explaining like she had to take a break from it because it just seemed so real. Mm-hmm. So like I would try the whole thing, but I don't think I would. Like Darius was doing it once a week. That seems like a lot, especially if you have to set up in your mind, I have to watch this to make sure I'm not dreaming. Like that's crazy to me. But I also feel like, and maybe in 5 years, the metaverse will have a lot of people thinking that way because they can just escape their normal lives and go to the metaverse and create their own reality to where it could get intertwined with that reality and then the actual one. So, but I don't think none of this was real.
Oh, we're gonna get there too because I
just want to say that because Jason said even though he was picking up medication for somebody that it wasn't him, I don't think any of this was real. So, but
yeah, nah.
But real quick, when y'all saw Kree Summers, what's the first character that pops up in your head?
Susie.
Okay.
Her character Frankie. Was it Frankie from A Different World? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, same. Different World.
Yeah, I always go to Susan Carmichael whenever I see her face. I don't know
or then the best friend from Batman Beyond. I don't remember her name, but she was Terry's best friend, the black girl with the purple hair. Yeah, that was Kree.
The fact Jason doesn't know that is fraudulent.
Fraudulent.
I think I know she said Batman Beyond.
Oh, so Bruce was in it.
Bruce was like an old man, but like it was a cartoon. You think I know every.
Nah, Batman Beyond was fire. They need to make a movie about Batman Beyond.
They should. But I like, he, like you said, Jazz, he says, because she said she kept getting too deep, basically like she was in the Inception when she was in there, so she had to take a break from it. And he was like you said, Jazz, he always goes into it. And he said what the trick for him was if he watches TV and he sees a thick Judge Judy, that lets him know he's still inside the Inception. And then he asked her a question, and she was saying that the world has always felt like a battle. It's always felt like a battle for her, and she stopped fighting and was just like, I can be whoever I want in this world. I don't have to go to that one to try to figure out who I am. So yeah, that was, like I said, I like the Darius arc in this episode because he definitely went through a lot of different things, and this, like I said, a lot of unanswered questions. So unfortunately, so Darius is walking when he leaves out of here. He sees London in the car, and Jazz, we think about this. We think London from the South Side, Jazz.
So it's funny because I knew she was crazy, and before anything happened, and the reason why I knew that is because. Have y'all ever seen the meme where they try to say women that drive Nissans are crazy?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, I've seen. Yeah,
she drove a Nissan, so
I didn't even peep that.
I didn't either. That's actually funny.
When I saw her car, I was like, "Oh, she about to be wild," because she's in a gray Nissan. I was just like, "But let's see how this unfolds." And it's funny when a meme reminds you, like, just triggers in your mind when you see something. You're like, "Damn!" Sometimes the memes be right. But her just like trying to catch up with him, and he's like, I'm on my way somewhere. And she's like, oh, I got you. Just jump in the car. And I was just like, where is this about to go? And she's smoking. And he's like, oh, let me get some of that water. And she was just like, unless you want to get messed up. And then immediately cops. Soon as Darius takes a good puff of the blunt, and the cops are just behind them. And she's like, pass me my shades. Put your foot over that bottle. Obviously, she's been in a situation before, from what we see in this scene, and Darius is just in panic mode. How would y'all have reacted if y'all were in Darius's position?
I truly do not know. Like, it just was like, is it? Like,
I was in London's position before. I was riding on the highway. I was high out of my mind. And the police was on that. This nigga, like, bro, I thought it was a dream. This nigga was on the middle of in the middle of the interstate, like, flagging me down. Like, I'm like, huh? Of course I pulled over. I'm like, excuse me? And he wrote me a ticket. I went to jail for that ticket 3 years later. I didn't pay it. I thought it was a dream. It definitely wasn't. It definitely wasn't.
So that's crazy. I'm glad that you were able to get out. And
3 years later,
but I will say that I was in Darius's situation. Not going to say the parties involved, but the driver was drinking and was listening to Aaliyah Rock the Boat on repeat, like nonstop speeding. And I'm just like, this isn't good. Cops pulled up. I immediately took the drink and hid it on my side, because I was like, nah, nobody's getting locked up tonight. And the person that was driving had peanuts, because peanuts take the scent of alcohol off of your breath. They was drinking beer, so it was strong. Put a bunch of peanuts in their mouth. Yeah. No, I mean, peanuts help. They had a bag of peanuts, threw the peanuts in the mouth.
Time out.
What?
Who just knows that?
Did she just did she have the peanuts because she was drinking beer, or was she just a peanut, or this person was just a peanut person?
I think it was have peanuts in your car just in case.
I got.
No, that's all I'm gonna say.
Emergency peanuts is insane.
I imagine you put up. Hey, I got them nuts on you.
Yo, get the peanuts. Get the peanuts.
You gotta say peanuts, Jason, not nuts. You say peanuts, so it don't sound as sketchy. But threw the peanuts in the mouth, was able to go ahead and get the scent of beer off their breath.
Yo, time out. Jason, you see how she was telling the story and trying to say it was all normal? Like, oh yeah, we just got the peanuts. Hey, what peanuts? Where did they come from?
Jazz is living in a simulation for real.
I'm just, you know what? Somebody's gonna listen to this and be like, yep, I heard about the peanuts in the car to get alcohol, beer, scent off your breath.
So, new question, Jazz. Do you put peanuts in your Pepsis?
No.
Okay, this one. Do you boil peanuts?
No.
Do you eat boiled peanuts?
Not really.
Not really means yes. Chris, what about you?
No, they don't. Okay, so if I'm in the country and it's like, oh, they said, I gotta say the country, because boiled peanuts, them shits ain't down the street. Normally when you go to,
I had them in Florida.
You said what?
I had them in Florida.
Were you in the country?
I was in Florida. That's enough for my story. The specifics do not matter. I was in Florida. It was close enough to you.
Anyway, if you in the country, they sell boiled peanuts at the gas stations.
They do.
I don't be like, oh, let me go get some boiled peanuts. If somebody got them in the car and I want a snack, I'll be like, let me get a few. I'm not spending my money on boiled peanuts. Is basically what I'm saying.
Jesus.
Are you spending money on boiled peanuts?
No, I'm not a peanut person.
Chris, you just had some in Florida. So.
I did, so I can't even talk. It was the big cup too. You didn't get the different sizes. I was like, no, let me get the big.
Can you imagine Chris in the back seat with a big cup of peanuts in his lap?
That's Baby D. I can imagine him with that.
Wow.
This is true. Chris know about all the new snacks.
All the new snacks.
Hey man, thank me later.
Hey, but them little baby all-in chips, fire. They got the hot ones. They give me heartburn, but them just good too.
It's worth the risk.
It's worth the risk. It's worth the risk.
Yo, Jason eating them and his heart like, my nigga, stop.
Like, please, no more.
I know they're good, but you're killing me.
I be trying to balance it out too, boy. I be trying to balance. I take a pill before I eat them. Eat some ice cream. Drink some milk. What had some milk?
Tear up.
I was trying to pick some cereal, boy, because I was high, boy. The milk was lumpy, man. I said, what the heck?
That's what you get for getting that. What do you call it? White milk? That's what you get.
Hey, look. That stopped me from eating the hot chips. Because if I was like, nah, ain't no milk, ain't no point in me trying to bother this. But that's just something I figured out. Ice cream and milk.
Jason's stomach be on that Gabby Douglas.
Turning like crazy, Chris.
Yo, what's her name? Simone Biles.
I eat like a ratchet or something.
Nah, you got that Olympic gold medalist stomach right there. Jesus.
I'm sitting like Danny Glover. I'm too old for this shit. I gotta eat better.
Goodness.
Man, but yeah, they said that was in this car, Chaz, and the police pull him out, and she says, if what's in the cup? Is it liquor? He was like, nah, that's just water. If it was liquor, would I do this? And she just chugs it.
It's crazy because it wasn't just liquor. It was vodka.
Right, Chris. She said, if it was vodka, would I do this? So she was specific when she said it.
Yeah.
And you can smell vodka. So I'm just like, sis.
Man, that made me think about that video. I don't know if y'all remember that meme of the old guy, the two guys in the mall dancing. He was like, "Yo, can you do this?" And he tried to do a front flip on the concrete and fought, but knocks himself out.
They ran away. They said, "Oh!"
And then, like I said, she tried to leave out. Was what police pulls her out the car and has to do a sobriety test. Has to do a straight line. She kind of walks kind of crazy when she does it. Tells her to touch her nose and asks her how many seasons of Homeboys in Outer Space. Have either one of y'all ever seen that show?
That's not a real show, is it?
It is. It is.
Wow.
You got Flex Alexander. Horrible show, but you should look it up one day.
Is that before or after he decided to portray Michael Jackson?
Wait. It's like 90s, Jazz. It's like 90s. Like he was like probably a high school kid. Probably. But yeah, Homeboys. It's like two people way before that too. It's like before probably that Marlon movie he was in. The Sixth Man. You ever seen that?
Yeah, I've seen that.
Oh yeah.
So Flex was the guy they hurt when they was playing basketball. So it was like probably around that time because he had the same exact hairstyle. So of course she passed the sobriety test, and then she steals the cop gun, like just wilding.
And they just ran in like, oh, that was after. But yeah, I'm just like, what is she doing?
Jumps in the car,
then immediately hit somebody.
Then she jumps back out. She was like, "This your fault." He was like, "How is it my fault?" And then the gun's in his hand, and then he wakes up in the deprivation tank again. Yeah. So he's basically dealing with his inception the entire episode. And then the guy says, "So let's get you cooled off and let's take you to the tea room." And they just keep on repeating the tea room, the tea in the tea room. And I was trying to catch what they meant, but they just kept on saying it. And the women, they all look the same, right? Like it was a twin, twins and a mom or something.
I caught that on the
They were very similar.
Rewatch.
Yeah. And that laugh was scary. Like
it was. What you gonna say, Jazz?
It seemed very overextended. Like I'm like, why y'all still laughing?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's why I was like, bro, hold on. He grabbed the one and he started screaming like, "Wake up!" Like in school days.
Yeah.
And he gets thrown out. He still got this medicine that he picked up from the store. And then we go to this apartment, which I thought I thought there may have been a love interest personally. I didn't know at first. But then as he begins to talk to him, we find out that's his brother. And which, like I said, I'm gonna have to go back throughout the season to see if there was ever a mention of it, because it's like I feel like he was going through stuff that was bothering him. But I really don't know, because he was talking to the brother. He's looking at him. He asked for some Jollof rice, another call back to season 3.
Yeah.
Asked for the Jollof. He told him, he's like, let me get half. He was like, I'm gonna give you a full bowl. You just eat half. Like, that's disgusting. Like, but I mean, that's his brother, you know. So he's talking to, he's looking at
that's disgusting.
So he's looking at the picture. And he, you know, seeing, that's what made me think like maybe his brother's actually dead. Like just the way he was looking at that picture. And then he was like, how's mom? And then made me think, did the mom pass? I don't know.
Yeah, because he was quiet.
And then he said, hey, how's dad? And then he looked at the TV and Judge Judy's thick again. So we know he's in a dream. And then he was like, damn. And then he wake up in the tank. And he was like, oh my God. Like, how long we been in here? 30 minutes.
That scene threw me completely off. I was like, what the hell is happening? Like, nothing is real. But when I was watching this scene, I don't remember anything about Darius's background, like at all, like of any mention of Darius's family through these 4 seasons. And we got it in this episode, or we got something in this episode.
Well, the season 3 we got, you know, we find out he was Nigerian in there.
Yeah.
So
and
we
then
get
we
a little
saw
bit.
what happened, because he said he got his nuts removed in season 3 as well. But I mean, like, about his family. Like mention of like his brother and his parents. We don't really, I don't remember him ever mentioning that. So I thought it was, I guess, weird for us to get it in this last episode. But then I was just like, well, since we're in his subconscious, that's where it would live.
Yeah, that makes sense.
So,
yeah. And then we got to kick it back to the other crew as they're in this place. They're eating a chicken skin salad, and like, and I would have been done. It would have been donezo, and now like, nah, bump this. I gotta go. He's like, can I get the key to go to the restaurant?
You said chicken skin salad?
Chicken skin salad.
Wasn't that call back to the Genuine episode?
Genuine episode?
Not Genuine. What's the episode? Where he was trying to. Never mind. Go ahead. I'm blanking.
Was it from this season?
Yeah. No. Where Ern? Remember he stuck in a place for a minute.
You talking about episode 1?
When I was stuck in.
Oh, you talking about
when he put the peanut butter on his head?
Yeah, Max. He's trying to get.
No. So it was. I mean, somewhat, but that I would have ate the sandwich. I wouldn't ate no chicken skin salad. Like, I would ate that sandwich.
I just thought chicken skin.
Yeah. I would ate the sandwich. I'm not eating it. I'm not eating that salad though. But that's a nice catch.
It is.
It took me a minute to get there, but
because Jason was definitely defending that sandwich.
I ate that sandwich.
But I told you about his tongue, Jazz. I told you.
Hey,
isn't for real.
He done double, triple down like he deserved it. He might make one after we finish recording.
Chris, we saw the stuff that he eats: cereal, hot chips, peanuts, like back to back.
Peanuts. Wait. That's you and Chris. I don't do the peanuts. I let y'all have them.
I had it one time, and look how he tried to lump me in everything.
There's one more time to me, and I'm in the South, brother. So he get the key, go to the restroom, but it's in a rainbow, which is nowhere near the place that they're in. And he was like, man, you know what? I'm leaving. And the waiter comes out and he said, we got this blowfish cheek fish that we said, yeah, it's poison, but a certain person know how to cut it a certain way. Y'all risk yourself? Oh no.
No. Especially with Popeyes right across the street. No, definitely not.
And we get this month. Go ahead.
It's funny because I don't remember if it was Charlie Angel's 1 or 2, but they mentioned the blowfish and how deadly it is. But it has to be cooked and cut a certain kind of way, or you could die. And I remember one of the characters in the movie ate it, but I don't remember exactly which one it was. But yeah, that's what I thought of when I heard that in this. I was just like, oh damn, Charlie's Angels.
It sounds like Cameron Diaz's character.
I think it was Bill Murray's character actually.
Oh, Bill Murray. Wow. Okay.
So I think it was Charlie's Angels 1.
Oh, okay.
But having to go to a rainbow to go to the bathroom is kind of wild.
Yeah, it is. It is. And I'm just tripping that, the guy in the bow tie, he begins to do his monologue.
His villain monologue.
Yeah, he said, it doesn't matter he said it shouldn't matter where you sell it. If it was in a train station somewhere in Japan, or if it was in a Blockbuster in the middle of Atlanta, sushi, no matter where it is, it should be okay. And they say, over there is actually served warm. And like, I don't eat sushi, so I don't like. And the ones that I see people eat is normally cooked. So I probably would eat cold sushi, cold sushi. And he told him, "Listen here, brother." He said, "Don't start that brother shit."
I think
This guy. Go ahead, Jay.
And I feel like, because when I was doing my rewatch, I feel like his monologue was trying to say, someone of different nationality can sell something, and we all go to it, we purchase it, we don't even think twice about it. But then when we have people of our own nationality, Black people selling it, then it's like, oh, he's making that with his own hands. Oh, this is warm. We question everything. And so, which makes us, if you question everything, that means you're not supporting it, which means that business can't succeed.
Yeah.
So like when he was saying all of that, I was just like, well, damn. It kind of made me feel bad, but then I still probably would have tried to go to that Popeyes.
I mean, look, I'm definitely one of the people that's going to support Black business, but you gotta have the business need to be good. I'm not just supporting it because, you know what I'm saying? Like, gotta be, after the first meal, I'll be like, nah, this ain't for me. Like, I'm out of here. Have y'all, let's be real here. Have y'all ever been to one of these Black restaurants? You be like, what the hell is this that you done sat in front of me?
So for me, the food is never the problem. It's the service.
It's the service. Yep.
That's the thing where I'm just like,
this sucks. This sucks to admit.
No, it does. But I mean, it's funny because you have shows, and I'm going to go ahead and drop a Black lady sketch. They had an episode in their season 1 where they even brought that up to where they went to a Black owned business and they made fun of, oh, half this menu is gone. And Quinta was in the episode and they was just like, okay, we'll just get this. And it's like, oh yeah, you got to bring your own silverware. So they had to eat, like, it was just different things in the sketch, which I loved it because it's just like, yeah, well, the service is not that good. And it's just like, maybe even though these are jokes, this stuff is facts. I feel like we've all experienced it. So it's just like, why don't we try to fix that behavior so then those jokes are no longer factual?
Yeah.
So it's just like,
This actually made me think about that that Black dude that be cooking on social media, and he'd like be having a whole bunch of just wild stuff. Like he made like a potato cake. I believe.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
He got like, let me chill out. Let me not make the face. But yeah, him. This is what that made me think of. And like the dude that was speaking, he said, I'm just a brother. If a brother from Alabama come around here cooking the sushi, he made me think of the season 1, episode 1, the guy that was on the bus, he was like, want to bite of my sandwich. He was talking to Ern on the bus, and he was like, nigga, no. And he just gets off the bus and he just goes through the bushes. It just disappears.
I remember that.
This who it remind me of, but it's not him. It just that's who it reminded me of. And it could have been a representation of that guy because he gave Ern some crazy advice on that bus. If you go back to the episode,
I remember that guy. I don't remember the dialogue, but that's crazy.
Yeah, he was like, you staring over there, some coon chicken being lied to by an Aunt Jemima. She don't get none of that money. That place is ran by an Italian man. Ain't none of them there, nobody Black.
Right.
And I heard they moved from New Orleans to New Jersey. New Jersey?
Yeah,
so eat my poison fish. You want some hot sauce? At that point, Al should have went, but his foot was in the boot. I forgot about that. His foot, and he was like, the issue with us is that we don't trust each other. The only person you can trust is yourself, huh, sir? And then Al was like, yeah. And that's why I feel like that was like the closure for that, because he can finally admit he don't really trust people. But even on last season, when he was talking to Lorraine, that's basically what she was saying. Like you're the center of everything, and you're the only one that can still provide for yourself because nobody else can the way you can. And that was just like a nice tie to it. But then of course, Darius runs in the store and slaps the guy and tell him, "Everybody hide my pink Maserati." They hop in the car. They spin off the scene, and I definitely teared up when they was in the parking lot. I can't lie, I teared up when it was because we hadn't seen them all together since like that episode when they was at the party, and they was another episode they kind of went crazy on. Al went crazy that time with the bonsai tree. He tried to cut you with a chainsaw.
I mean, you could
season
say
3. Yeah.
you could say at the beginning of season 4 they were all together. It wasn't for
Okay,
the whole episode when they was at the mall.
At the mall, yeah, you're right. At the beginning of the episode. So yeah, but yeah, that was dope. And they go back to the house and they ask Darius where he got the car from. He said, I stole it from the valet. But it's cool because he's still in the dream, or he thought. And then Al said, "Yeah, I want to smoke some of my weed," which he's, the weed he's been growing. And it kind of ends with Darius looking at the screen with the ambiguous ending, so we don't know if Judge Judy had ass or not. It ends.
What do y'all think?
First of all, before we get to that, why Jason cry when they eat Popeye? It's like, what's wrong?
Oh, when they drove off eating the Popeyes in the car,
Yeah, he was tearing up.
I was tearing up, bro. I don't know. It was just like it's the end, and we get them, and it's just like Jazz said, black joy. You just see it on their face, and it's the truth.
Jazz looking like don't drag me into this.
You don't be happy when you get chicken, Jazz. You don't be happy when you be eating.
I do, Jason. I do.
Thank you.
And I'll be even more happy when I'm out eating with friends and we're all having a good time. Especially if we're in a car with the roof back doing donuts in the parking lot. Hell yeah, I'm lit. I'm super happy. I'll be crying and everything. Hey, I don't ask questions, Chris.
Don't ask no questions.
Oh, that's funny.
That is the end of Atlanta. A finale. Hopefully we get to California. That's what I would like.
No.
But no, you don't want Cali. You want to watch Earn in California with new friends?
I absolutely would, but I think the chapter is closed. Are you saying like a spinoff show?
I mean, just Earn and Man and they new friends or whatever. Because I think Paperboy and Darius would be in a different space.
If they do a spinoff, they should do it with what's his name? Is his name Tony? What's the guy's name that helped Earn set up that lady? He was working in it. Maybe he beat him up in season 2.
You're talking about Tracy.
Yeah, I would watch a Tracy spinoff show.
Yeah, that'll be different. That'll definitely be different with Tracy. I don't know how that would work, but it would definitely be different. But while we're here, guys, was it good though?
Yeah, I would definitely say it was good. Atlanta is one of my favorite TV shows, and I like the way that it ended. I know some people, and I think you guys too, were talking about like some loose ends that they didn't tie up, especially from season 3. But I was good with it. Like I like the way the story ended. I feel like leaving everything that happened in season 3 that completed that story. We had some callbacks, of course, like they always do, but like socks and everything. I'm good on that. Honestly, so I really enjoyed it. I like the way that they had the episodes open to the viewer's interpretation of what happened. Like we just talked about at the end of this episode, we don't know, like a definitive answer whether it was real or not. So I like just different things like that that give you time to rewatch or discuss it and just try to figure out what the whole meaning is.
Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it. Jason, I remember that you mentioned that this could possibly go under the category of the best season finale of a series. This might be my ledge. I'm gonna say nah, not for me. I did enjoy it, but with a lot of unanswered questions, even though I feel like that's what they wanted. They weren't trying to wrap everything up. They did that on purpose. And even still with that, I was just like, I kind of would have loved to see like the whole socks things. I kind of would have loved to see get more of Ern's backstory. And then I honestly thought it was going to end with them leaving, going to California. Not saying that it diminished how I felt about it, but I was just like, kind of just that farewell.
Yeah.
But that would have made it sad, and it would have been on brand for a lot of shows, because a lot of shows like, okay, everybody split off and do their own thing. So with them, they were just like, nah, they just gonna be at Al's house smoking his weed, and then it just be Darius. And I actually thought we were gonna get a Darius only episode. That would have been fun. But and I kind of wish we would have got more of Darius, just his backstory a little bit more. But outside of that, I mean, I enjoyed it, but I don't think I would put it in my top 10 favorite season finale seasons.
Okay. You mean like the whole season or just the last episode?
No, just like if we were to do like our top 10 shows that ended well, I don't think Atlanta would be in my top 10.
Gotcha.
So.
Okay. Jason, was it good to you?
It was. I enjoyed it this entire season. I enjoyed it. They definitely got back to the funnies. I think last season was more like introspective, I believe. So this one, I enjoyed it. Got back to season 1 type comedy, obscure comedy type stuff. So yeah, I enjoyed it.
That's what's up. Yeah, man, this is the end of Atlanta. Y'all have any legends for this season overall? I know we did part 1 already, but maybe something else came up in part 2 that you sort of think about.
Just I wanted them to, more so just do some more tie-ins back to season 3. It was like a lot of stuff was just like, besides like you have the dream with Ern, but like the other 2 episodes, I don't feel like those were dreams. Like the big payback episode, I wanted to know if that was something that actually happened to the people. Like people were actually having to pay back reparations to Black people. I wanted that to be a theme, an actual theme. The whole Ern thing, I wanted to like, was that just a duality thing that we had to, focus on? Like what was up with that? But yeah, just some. I wanted some more callbacks to the that one. I feel like that there was some missed callbacks for some people, for some big names that were in the show that could have came back as well.
Yeah, Jason, I definitely agree. I think if I had any legends, it was that, and then also I wish Darius would have gotten his own episode, like full episode, to where if I can get an episode of Darius doing Darius things and getting maybe about 10 minutes of his like history flushed out. Then I would have definitely loved that. But yeah, definitely the callbacks for sure, because how they left us at the end of season 3, I'm sitting here like, okay, so Ern got Ern's stuff. Like, what's going on with this? And we got nothing. So I was just like, damn. It was just, I get it. They're leaving us cliffhangers here, different stories here, but it's just like, y'all could have gave me a little bit more sides. Get like when you at Chipotle, give me some more rice.
Don't be stingy with the guac, like whatever.
Jason, you don't like Chipotle? Can't please them all, I guess. but yeah.
Okay. Link of Thrones. We've had.
Can I go first?
Gee, I wonder who Jazz is gonna pick.
Even though I know Chris is like, Jazz, you can never go first. Hopefully I don't take your person, but if I do, RIP to you.
No sympathy at all.
None. I am going to pick Cree Summer.
What a shocker.
Don't do that. And of course, A Different World.
Okay. Mine is going to be Sinbad, and mine is also going to be Different World. No, I'm kidding. I'm gonna do First Kid. Have y'all seen that movie?
I don't think so.
Okay, so First Kid was pretty much about Sinbad was a bodyguard, and a kid ends up being the president.
Oh yes, I have actually. I didn't know that was the name of it.
Yeah, he was Secret Service, I think. No, the president's child. I'm sorry, not the president. He wasn't the president. He was president's kid.
I just knew you was gonna say Shazam. I was gonna like he wasn't in that.
No, but he could have said Jingle All the Way.
He could have. Have you seen that?
Shazam?
I mean, not that, but not Shazam, but the Kazam, I think is the like they was in like a Mandela effect, like he was never in that movie, but like
yeah.
everybody thinks he was in it. Like,
so was that a real movie or was that like a commercial?
I'm not gonna play with these people. I don't know.
Okay.
I watched his interview one time. He was like, "Man, I was never in there. I don't know why people think I was. Like, it's only the movie with Shaq. It's not a second one of me being a wizard helping people. There's not a movie like that. I don't know." I got Shoe Man, Terrence Rosemore. He was in Fist Fight with Ice Cube and Charlie Day.
Okay, I've never seen that. That's funny.
Oh, that's funny. It's a nice little funny film.
I remember the commercial came out. With the trailer, I guess, came out back in the day.
He was also in Guardians of the Galaxy 2.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
All right, Chris Jr. dropping 2 Link of Thrones.
Yeah, look at my influence.
Don't do that. Don't do that. Look at your ass.
Look at my impact. See what happened when you famous? Like people just, I get it.
Chris, relax.
Oh, my bad.
Get this nigga out. Close this out. Close this out. Get this nigga out of here.
Who's closing this out? Oh, was there anything else you guys wanted to add for Atlanta season 4, the series finale?
Sad to see you go. I'm definitely gonna be rewatching them.
Yeah,
rewatch from the beginning.
I'm gonna look back. I want to see if Darius ever talk about family. I'm definitely looking back at that.
That's a good one to look for.
Yeah, that'd be really good.
Yeah, that's it. Episode 27. Thank you everybody. This was a little lengthy one, but it's Atlanta, so we gotta get all our theories and jokes off and everything. I hope y'all enjoyed it. Of course, everyone who always supports us, liking, commenting, subscribing, following us. Of course, our Discord community, y'all are dope. We love talking to y'all. And yeah, just 27 episodes is kind of wild. Like when you think about where we first started. So it's pretty cool to almost be at 30. But yeah, we are in December, so a little bit of holiday cheer may be coming up, a little bit of hint of what's to come, but you'll have to subscribe, of course, to hear that. Jason, Jazz, appreciate y'all again. Good pod, good episode. Shout outs to Atlanta, shout outs to Donald Glover, the whole team, and yeah, episode 27. I don't want it to end because dang, Atlanta's gone, but hey, it is what it is.
It is. Deuce.
Bye, guys.